Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to show you my new dungeon team. Now, when the first dungeon was out, it was just a straightforward case of picking a really quick team and just like casting Leprechaun, casting Rowan, and going through it really quickly, and that was absolutely ideal. But then these new dungeon types came out with these traps and descending stairs, so the actual fights got longer and harder, and we had to change things up. It was for that reason I introduced Queen Beatrix into my team at the time, along with Voice of Orpheus for an extra cleanse. But the trouble is, we do get the stun trap. Actually, it seems to turn up quite often, does for me anyway. And the thing about it is, it actually stops Queen Beatrix's cleanse from working, because when you get stunned, it takes away your traits. So I've changed again from my original anti-dungeon team, and it has evolved ultimately almost back into my original dungeon team, which is quite bizarre, but this is it. I've got Shield of Earth, Gaia, Rowan, Leprechaun, 3 out of the 4 troops I've been using for years with the original dungeon type, but Voice of Orpheus is absolutely perfect for this situation with these dungeons. Cleanses all allies when matching yellow gems and being impervious, so he's immune to all status effects, devour, lycanthropy and mana burn. So anything but curse, and he can just be immune to all that. You just get a yellow match and you're going to cleanse the whole team. So you only get those death trap ones when everybody's death marked, when everybody's stunned. It doesn't affect him in the least. You can just come along, collect yellow and cleanse all your team absolutely straight away. And the damage he does is actually quite handy, but it's the then give all other allies 5 mana, which really does make a difference and makes it that much quicker. So, like I say, I've ultimately evolved back into my original anti-dungeon team, all but Voice of Orpheus being the only new addition. And the Shield of Earth Gaia, in case you're unaware, gives an ally magic-based armor boosted by all enemy attack. So the stronger the enemy gets regarding attack, the more effective this weapon becomes. Then it enrages and barriers them. I like Geomancer class for this. I'm going to start with 50% mana, which gets things done just that little bit quicker. Impact can still come in handy, as can Rock Solid and Tree of Knowledge. The idea of this is we cast this onto Rowan. On the early stages you won't have to. If your Rowan is sufficiently powered up and does enough damage, you can wipe out the enemy in a single cast of her without having to put the Shield of Skya onto her. You can check that damage first. In my case it's 45 scatter damage boosted by her armor at a ×2 ratio. Got 3 times medals of guard on here to boost up Rowan's damage. You can see it there, equipped medals. Just let it rotate around again. 24 on the armor, so that is going to enhance the amount of damage she does. And Leprechaun is there for that fast start. Starts battles with full mana, explodes green gems boosted by gold, and gains 20 gold at the same time. So let's just check the banner for this. +2 brown, +1 blue, -1 purple. Doesn't matter that the Voice of Orpheus and Leprechaun use purple. We're generally not going to be too worried about their spells. Voice of Orpheus is mainly there for that cleanse, although the +5 mana to all other allies when he casts is useful, because when you have to cast Rowan twice, like on the high levels, even I have to cast her twice, even when I've applied the Shield of Earth Skya. You cast Shield of Earth Skya once onto Rowan, cast Rowan, and then when you cast Voice of Orpheus, if you have to, all the other allies get 5 mana straight away, which is really nice. And brown is the most important colour, because on the later levels you can't cast Rowan until you've cast your Shield of Earth Skya, therefore you need brown as much as possible. Right, so let's do me battles. King Mongo! So if there's a lot of green dotted around everywhere, doesn't have to be many of them, as long as they're nicely spread around. This is not fantastic, but it's actually not too bad. You can actually cast this and you will get a nice spread around. And take a look out for any yellow matches at the same time. You can cast this anyway. Bleed is not too much of a big deal, but if you've got something like Death Mark or something like that, then Death Mark in particular, you want to look out for a yellow match as quickly as possible. Like, we'll do it now just for the sake of it. There you go. Stops that bleed. And the handy thing about this is we've got Voice of Orpheus up at the same time. So when we don't kill all these enemies in one go, let me just get this 4 match first. I'll just cast Rowan. This is the really handy thing about the Voice of Orpheus. Not only can we do a bunch of damage to someone, but we give all other allies 5 mana. So because I have to cast my Rowan again, this is quite useful. So we can cast that, do some damage. Been given a jump start on Rowan. And then we're good to go there again really, really quickly. And the boost, this does look, is 702. Wow, that's why you cast a Voice of Orpheus, sorry, not Voice of Orpheus, Shield of Erskaya onto Rowan. Let's just do the other 2 battles, and I must remember to do the dungeon offers because these are great on a Sunday. Absolutely fantastic on a Sunday. Remember to do these on a Sunday, particularly on PlayStation, because PlayStation does get the best deal out of this. Pretty much unanimous decision on that, I think. You get this one here, which is probably the standard one. On the one I'm aiming at here, you can do this. 50 gems. Gets you 80 diamonds, souls, gem keys and shards. But it's this one here which is the fantastic deal for PlayStation owners. So I do believe this costs equivalent of £5 or $5 on other systems like Xbox and PC and stuff. But here it's just like 150 diamonds. 150 gems, sorry. For 150 gems, you get 150 diamonds, gem keys, shards. Really good deal. Done that before I forget. Let's just go and do the other 2 fights then. King Mimic. Same deal again. Charge up the Shield of Erskaya nice and fast. You get a yellow if we feel like it, although bleed is not too much of a big deal. Like I say, if it's Death Mark, that's when you want to absolutely make sure you go and get rid of that Death Mark straight away. Shield of Erskaya onto Rowan. Boost is 682. Doesn't matter if the Voice of Orpheus didn't get charged up, that's just a bonus thing really. We're a bit unlucky with our mana colours this time around, that's the way it goes. Sometimes you get a really lucky run of colours, other times it takes that a little bit longer. Can cast him now though, because it's going to give us some damage and some mana boost. Now be ready for Rowan. Boom shakalaka. Everybody's dead. More diamonds. Absolutely make sure you do your dungeons on a Sunday. By far the best rewards. Regarding diamonds at least. So Snot Face is here. It's a nice way to go. Yellow mana surge gets our Voice of Orpheus nearly ready to go and gives us that lovely cleanse at the same time. Might as well get that being as though it's there. Cast shield onto Rowan. If Rowan's colours aren't there, you can take a shortcut to it this way with Voice of Orpheus. Gives all other allies 5 mana. So we cast that, do some damage, the extra 5 has got our Rowan ready. Now we just collect the mana like normal after Sir Snotface has just got a bit excited. That was a lot of passage. Yeah. Not scared. Might even let him kill my hero. I don't care. Got my Rowan up. I've got shield anyway. No cheap death for you. That was a long one for a dungeon. They're normally much faster than that, but got there in the end. Got to take the lucky games where you get the really easy gem matches that make you do things really nice and fast, with the slow ones sometimes where you don't quite get all the colours to make things super quick and easy. But anyway, there's my new dungeon team, which has ultimately evolved back into almost my original one, but that is the way it goes. But Voice of Orpheus, absolutely fantastic for getting the cheap, easy cleanse on pretty much everything the dungeon traps can throw at you, except from curse. If you're cursed, then you've got to be a little bit lucky. But there it is. There's the video. If you found it useful, it'd be really cool if you hit that like and subscribe button. But most of all, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.